And David spoke to the Lord the words of this ode, in which day the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies, and from the hand of Saul. And he said, O Lord, my rock and my fortress, and for me one who delivers me. My God shall be my keeper, I will be reliant on him. My protector and horn of my salvation, my supporter and my refuge for my salvation. You shall save me from wrong. I will call upon the Lord, for he is praiseworthy, and I shall be saved from my enemies. For afflictions of death encompassed me, wadis of lawlessness astounded me, pangs of death surrounded me, rigidities of death outran me. When I am afflicted, I will call upon the Lord, and to my God I will shout, and from his shrine he shall heed my voice, and my cry shall be in his ears. And the earth was stirred up and quaked, and the foundations of the sky were confounded and torn apart, because the Lord was angry with them. Smoke went up in his wrath, and fire from his mouth shall devour. Coals flamed forth from him, and he bent the heavens and came down, and thick darkness was under his feet. And he sat on cherubim and flew, and he was seen upon wings of wind. And he made darkness his hideaway around him. His tent was a darkness of waters. It thickened with clouds of air. From the splendor before him, coals of fire flamed forth. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High gave his voice. And he sent forth arrows and scattered them, lightning and astounded them. And emissions of sea were seen, and foundations of the world were laid bare, by the rebuke of the Lord, at the blast of the breath of his anger. He sent from on high, and he took me. He drew me out of many waters. He rescued me from my enemies of strength, from those who hate me, for they were too strong for me. They outran me in the day of my affliction, and the Lord was my support. And he brought me out into spaciousness, and he delivered me, because he delighted in me. And the Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands he rewarded me. For I kept ways of the Lord, and did not impiously depart from my God. For all his judgments were in front of me, and his statutes I did not depart from them. And I shall be blameless to him, and I shall keep myself from my lawlessness. And the Lord will pay me back according to my righteousness, and according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. With the devout you will be deemed devout, and with a perfect man you will be deemed perfect. And with the select you will be select, and with the crooked you will be deemed crooked. And you will save the poor people, and you will lower your eyes on the haughty. For you are my lamp, O Lord, and the Lord will illumine my darkness for me. For in you I shall run as a lightly armed man, and in my God I shall scale a wall. The strong one, his way is blameless. The word of the Lord is strong, tried by fire. He is a protector for all who rely on him. Who is strong except the Lord? And who will be a creator except our God? It was the strong one who strengthened me with power, and shook my way blameless, making my feet like the feet of deer, and setting me secure on the heights, training my hands for war, and breaking a bronze bow with my arm. And you gave me protection for my salvation, and your answers made me increase, into spaciousness for my steps under me, and my legs did not totter. I will pursue my enemies and destroy them, and I will not turn back until I will bring them to an end. And I will crush them, and they shall not rise, and they shall fall under my feet. And you will strengthen me with power for battle. You will make those who rise up against me bow down under me. And you gave me my enemies in the back. Those who hated me, you even put them to death. They will shout, and there is no helper, to the Lord, but he did not answer them. And I ground them down like dust of the earth. Like mire of exits I beat them fine. And you will rescue me from battle with peoples. You will guard me to be head of nations. A people whom I did not know was subject to me. Foreign sons lied to me. At the hearing of the ear they heard me. Foreign sons shall be cast away, and shall stumble out of their enclosures. The Lord lives, and blessed be my keeper. and my God, the keeper of my salvation, shall be exalted. The Lord who gives me vengeance is strong, disciplining peoples underneath me, and bringing me out from my enemies. And you will exalt me from those who are stirred up against me. You will rescue me from a man of wrongs. Therefore I will acknowledge you, O Lord, among the nations, and make music in your name, magnifying acts of deliverance of his king, and doing mercy to his anointed, to David and his offspring forever. And these are the last words of David. Faithful is David, son of Jesse, and faithful the man whom the Lord raised up, to be the anointed of Jacob's God, and fitting are Israel's melodies. The Lord's Spirit spoke by me, and his word was upon my tongue. The God of Israel speaks. Israel's keeper spoke to me, Speak a parable. How might you strengthen fear of God by a man? And by God may the sun rise at the light of dawn. The morning did not pass from splendor, and it was as if from rain for tender grass from the earth. For is my house not so with someone strong? For he made with me an everlasting covenant, ready in every season kept safe. For my whole salvation and total will is that the lawless shall not sprout. They are all like a thorny plant thrust out, for not by hand shall they be taken. And a man shall not grow weary among them, and full of iron also is a shaft of a spear. And with fire, with burning, they shall be burned by their shame. These are the names of the powerful men of David. Jebosti the Canaanite is commander of the 3rd. Adinon the Assanite, he drew his sword against 800 casualties at once. And after him was Eleazar, son of his father's brother, son of Susaites, among the 3 powerful men. He was with David in Saran, and when he approached among the Aliphiles, they gathered there for battle, and they went up, a man of Israel. He stood up and struck among the Aliphiles, until his hand grew weary, and his hand stuck to the dagger. And the Lord brought about a great deliverance in that day, and the people were encamped behind him, only to despoil. And after him was Semiah, son of Asa, the Harukite. And the Aliphiles gathered together at wild beasts, and there was there a portion of the field full of lentil, and the people fled from before the Aliphiles. And he was made a stele in the middle of the portion, and delivered it and struck the Aliphiles, and the Lord brought about a great deliverance. And 3 of the 30 went down and came into Cason to David, into the cave of Odolam, and a unit of the Aliphiles encamped in the valley of Raphaim. And David was then in the enclosure, and the support of the Aliphiles was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, Who will give me water to drink from the cistern that is in Bethlehem, that is by the gate? But the core of the Aliphiles was then in Bethlehem. And the 3 powerful men broke through into the camp of the Aliphiles, and drew water from the cistern that was in Bethlehem, that was by the gate, and took it and came to David. But he did not want to drink it, and he poured it out as a libation to the Lord, and said, Be gracious to me, O Lord, for doing this. Shall I drink the blood of the men who went by their lives? And he did not want to drink it. The 3 powerful men did these things. And Abessa, brother of Joab, son of Saruiah, he was commander among the 3, and he awakened his spear against 300 casualties, and had a name among the 3. Of those 3 he was highly esteemed, and became a commander for them, but he did not attain to the 3. And Benaias, son of Jodai, he was a man great in deeds, from Kabaseel, and he struck the 2 sons of Ariel of Moab. He also went down and struck the lion in the middle of the pit, in the day of the snowfall. He struck the Egyptian man, a man to be seen. Now in the hand of the Egyptian was a spear, like the upright of a ladder, and he went down to him with a rod, and snatched the spear out of the hand of the Egyptian, and killed him with his own spear. These things did Benaias, son of Jodai, and he had a name among the 3 powerful men. Of the 3 he was highly esteemed, but he did not attain to the 3, and David appointed him for his hearings. And these are the names of the powerful men of King David. Asael, brother of Joab, he was among the 30. Elhanan, son of Dudi, his father's brother in Bethlehem, Samai the Herodite, Elika the Herodite, Helis the Philothi, Eros, son of Ikos the Tekoite, Abizer the Anathite, of the sons of Hasothite, Salmon the Aoite, Mor the Netophathite, Helah son of Banah the Netophathite, Ethi son of Reba of Gabaeth, son of Benjamin, Banias the Pharothonite, Huri of Nachalagias, Abiel son of the Arabothite, Asmoth the Barsamite, Elisu the Salabonite, sons of Jason, Jonathan, Samah the Herodite, Achion son of Sarad the Arurite, Elipheleth son of the Hospite, son of the Makati, Eliab son of Achitophel the Gelonite, Hasarai the Carmelite, Pharai the Erchi, Igaal son of Nathan from Power, son of Gadi, Eli the Ammonite, Gelorai the Berothite, carrier of the weapons of Joab son of Saruiah, Eros the Jetherite, Gareb the Jetherite, Urias the Ketite, 37 in all. And anger of the Lord added to blaze out against Israel, and he incited David against them, saying, Go, count Israel and Judah. And the king said to Joab, commander of the force, who was with him, Go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan as far as Beersheba, and inspect the people, and I will know the number of the people. And Joab said to the king, And may the Lord your God add to the people, just as they are, even 100 times, just as they are, even while the eyes of my lord the king see. And my lord the king, why is he desirous in this matter? And the word of the king prevailed against Joab, and against the commanders of the force. And Joab and the commanders of the force went out before the king, to inspect the people of Israel. And they crossed the Jordan and encamped in Aroer, on the right side of the city, that is in the middle of the ravine of Gad and Eliezer. And they came to Gilad, and to the land of Tabason, which is Hadassai. And they drew near to Danadan, and Udon, and circled round to Sidon, and came to Mapsar of Tyre, and all the cities of the Hevite and the Canaanite, and they came down south of Judah to Beersheba. And they went round in all the land, and they drew near to Jerusalem at the end of 9 months and 20 days. And Joab gave the number of the inspection of the people to the king. And Israel was 800,000 men of power, capable of drawing a sword, and man of Judah was 500,000 warrior men. And David's heart struck him after he had numbered the people. And David said to the Lord, I sinned greatly in what I did. Now, O Lord, do put aside the lawlessness of your slave, for I have been very foolish. And David rose in the morning, and a word of the Lord came to Gad the prophet, the seer of David, saying, Go and speak to David, saying, This is what the Lord says, 3 things I am taking up against you, and choose for yourself one of them, and I will do it to you. And Gad went in to David and told him, and said to him, Choose for yourself what shall happen, whether famine shall come to you for 3 years in your land, or that you flee for 3 months before your enemies, and they will be pursuing you, or that there be death for 3 days in your land. Now then, decide, and see what word I shall answer to the one who sent me. And David said to Gad, It is very narrow for me on every side. I shall fall now into the hand of the Lord. For his mercies are very many, but into human hands I will not fall. And David chose for himself death. And there were days of wheat harvest, and the Lord gave death in Israel from morning till lunchtime, and the destruction began among the people. And 70,000 of the men died out of the people, from Dan and as far as Beersheba. And the angel of God stretched out his hand toward Jerusalem to destroy it. And the Lord was consoled over the evil, and said to the angel who was destroying among the people, It is much now, relax your hand. And the angel of the Lord was by the threshing floor of Ornah the Jebusite. And David spoke to the Lord when he saw the angel hitting among the people, and said, Behold, I did wrong, and I am the shepherd. I did evil, and these are the sheep. What did they do? Now let your hand be against me, and against the house of my father. And Gad came to David in that day and said to him, Go up and erect an altar to the Lord on the threshing floor of Ornah the Jebusite. And David went up according to the word of Gad, according as the Lord commanded him. And Ornah looked out and saw the king and his servants passing by upon them. And Ornah went out and did obeisance to the king on his face on the ground. And Ornah said, Why is it that my lord the king came to his slave? And David said, To buy the threshing floor from you, in order to build an altar to the Lord, and the destruction may be stopped over the people. And Ornah said to David, Let my lord the king take and offer up to the Lord what is good in his sight. Behold the oxen for a whole burnt offering, and the wheels and the gear of the oxen for wood. Ornah gave everything to the king, and Ornah said to the king, May the Lord your God bless you. And the king said to Ornah, No, on the contrary, buying I will buy from you at a price, and I will not offer up a whole burnt offering to the Lord my God, without payment. And David bought the threshing floor and the oxen in silver of 50 shekels. And David built there an altar to the Lord, and offered up whole burnt offerings and those for peace. And Solomon added unto the altar in the end, for it was little at first. And the Lord listened to the land, and the destruction was stopped from upon Israel.